So we're up to the meeting. Apologies and reasons again.
Apologies from Councillor McNally and Councillor Flood. Councillor McNally is due to sickness and Councillor Flood is working.
Can I raise a point here to be admitted?
Yes.
Can we arrange with open spaces that if their representative isn't available, that somebody else is mandated to attend, that knows what's going on?
I did actually ask, but I haven't had a response. Okay. Could I propose that, please?
Sorry.
Second.
Okay, 2 from 3.
Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Declarations of interest from me.
Nope.
Agreed in the minutes of the previous meeting. Not happy.
Second.
Agreed. Okay. Initial, please. Sign. Oh, don't worry about that one. Initial there, please. And just initial, it's on the blank page. Thank you.
So the next one, the transactions for finance.
Sorry, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Total £25,401.32p.
I have just got a few that have come in this afternoon, so I'll
Okay.
add on.
Well, also the big one on there is Charm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for repairs to the Kubota.
I presume JMW plumbing is the boiler.
JW, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is the boiler. There's some, it's exactly as was agreed, I double checked back on that. Yeah, there was the £60 for where he came out to carry out the repair,
Yeah.
or £50 plus that, and then 2,950 to install the new system, the valves and everything.
Who's Serco?
That's
For the pavilion.
Okay, thank you.
The sundries, sundries, it's service repairs and maintenance for £39.97.
Who's the,
Heart Origin.
this is, it's from Amazon somewhere. Let me have a look, see. Right, sometimes they don't, the invoice doesn't come through, but it's Heart Origin. Find it, no? Might be for that one. I've ordered several things for the parks team. Unfortunately, with Amazon, when you order it, it doesn't always show, it says Amazon and then it's delivered out by somebody else, so I have to change it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to...
Will the date come? Says on here the 28th.
Heart Origin. It's the strimmer heads for the
Oh,
strimmer.
right, yeah. That's one.
Now I've got it filed under A.
Mm-hmm. How many are we up to?
5 or 6, I think.
1, 2, 3, 4, that is.
No. Pest control then, it's onwards.
It's onwards?
Yeah, £14.50.
Oh, is that the wasp?
I think so.
Little wasp somewhere.
It's in the cemetery by the chapels.
Yeah, there's the wasp nest, that's what it is.
Mhm.
£14.15 plus VAT.
Yeah.
Farmer Educational Foundation, £842.50.
Yeah, it's the allotment rent for
Okay.
battlefields.
Right, for the year,
Half year.
half year. So then we don't even get that back then, do we? We're paying out
No.
and charging.
No,
Costs us a lot more to rent it
Yeah.
than we get back.
Mm.
That's not something we should be looking at, maybe?
but yeah, but it's something that we've already started looking at.
Okay.
It's just we
Open
can't
spaces.
increase allotment
Have
rents
to give them a
until.
year's notice.
2023.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is what we're trying to calculate what each plot should be. At the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. And then LC cleaning,
That's
which I believe should go to open space, to anybody except finance for debate about the renewal of the contract for cleaning services.
I've worked out who that goes with them.
It's cleaning of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're looking at putting a tender out to contract, aren't we? We were discussing it the other day, weren't we?
Mm.
I think it hasn't been looked at for a while, so I do think we need to
As you
at least
said,
look at it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, obviously they're able to put in their price the same,
yeah,
and then we'll review it.
because they have suddenly jumped up, haven't they?
Yeah.
And charged a bit extra.
It's due to the fact that the invoice was put in for September before the end of the month, and it was a long month, so that
So 5
last
months.
week has added on to October.
Ah, okay. Yeah. How many is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 or 3.
There's a lot of postage this month.
Yeah, we have, because all the allotment rents went out, and we still haven't got many email addresses. And then we had to send out allotment letters for a second time to say about with the policy there, because of the bonfires that were being stacked up there. So we've done sort of 50
Okay.
letters twice.
I presume we're not having a bonfire there. Wouldn't be insured, would we?
No.
It's against the
Policy.
policy. So we did have a look at a couple of sites where there was burning planned by the look of
Okay.
it. So the idea is that we go back and double check after on Fire Night
Yeah.
and see whether it's actually happened or not.
Mm.
Two more then.
You've got 3 for protective clothing.
Yeah, protective clothing.
Online safety supplies, Glendale and
Online
Bristol.
safety supplies, I can tell you, is new boots for the litter picker.
Yeah.
And I can't remember.
Oh,
Oh, that was the knitted hats for
Oh, yeah.
everybody.
And then Happy Store.
Sorry, Glendower. What was the other one you said? Online services.
Yeah, online safety supplies.
Safety. And
Happy Store.
Happy Store.
Happy Store.
That was an Amazon one. Just looked at it. I know. Here's Happy Store. It's
Mhm.
for safety glasses. For
Oh, yeah.
12 sets of safety glasses.
That's it then. I'll propose it then.
1 second.
Moving on, item 87, credit card.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Credit card statement. There's a lot on there, isn't there? £42.53 for fuel.
That goes
I
back
said-
to something that you
I
agreed.
agree that Tony can go there as a one-off.
Mm.
Go to,
If you see September written by,
yeah,
or something written by them, okay, so anything with October,
yeah,
you've already agreed.
Agreed.
It's only the ones with November
November
on
on.
either side
Yeah.
that you haven't
Yeah.
actually agreed. So it's it starts with the £2.79 for the
Yeah.
Tesco.
Mm-hmm.
what did I do? Tesco's at £2.79 then.
I bought bleach and surface cleaner for the parks team to clean the toilets with, because it was actually cheaper in Tesco than it was by buying it to Amazon.
Okay. Thought we'd had some of that already.
Have we not, was there not any in the toilets already? In the store?
I believe not. The WCPM asked for it before.
Okay.
So yeah, it would have been in September it was asked for.
Okay.
I'm happy with the rest.
Yeah.
Should I close that please?
Yeah.
Read. Yep.
So the next one's about reconciliation. Sure you've all seen it. It was emailed out to us earlier.
So there it is. I'll show you. That's Barclays current account.
Yeah.
Barclays deposit account, which is that, plus the ring fence money comes to that,
Yeah.
which is there. And CCLA, which is that amount,
Yeah.
which is that amount, and then there's 20,000 in there uncleared.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's not, no, start again. That's actually the statement, sorry, that was,
Okay.
which is that one there. I'm
So-
going to look at it tomorrow, because I'll probably need to move some money across
Yeah.
before next week. Is everybody happy with that?
I'm happy, but I am going to raise the subject of the COIF investment
The COIF
because we're not showing it. We've never shown it,
Mm.
and there's a lot of money sitting there.
Yeah, I'm waiting, I'm still waiting, I'll have to chase them up again, for them to send through the forms to allow me to sign, for allowing them to actually speak to me and tell me what it's about,
Mm.
because I don't know.
I mean, once we've got confirmation that it is ours,
Yeah,
then we can show it on our accounts, but at the
Yeah.
moment we're not
Yeah.
100% sure.
No, and it might not be. So I did mention to Brandy the other day when I was in. I asked her if she could go to the relevant year's invoices, because I know she's checked with the minutes.
Mm.
But if she does look at the invoices, there might be something in there.
Yeah,
Maybe, potentially, possibly.
yeah, once we know, then we'd have to talk to the auditor and find out how we deal with it.
How we're going to get 11 grand back into the accounts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So could I have a proposal for the bank rep, please? Thank you. Seconder. Thank you. Read.
Outstanding receipts is next.
I don't think there's anything unusual. There's a few memorial companies, etc., but that would be normal. The allotment rents are coming in. I know a couple came in today.
Is that one for MC Seymour? Is that how much he owes us or how much he's paid today?
No, that's allotment rent outstanding.
£1,153.
It's a big area.
Okay.
Has it only just become due then?
1st of October, so it's due by
Yeah.
the 31st.
Okay. So how long are we going to give before we start chasing?
I would give another couple of weeks and then we'll send out reminders. But we'll give it a couple of weeks because obviously if we send out reminders then it costs us some postage again.
Again, yeah.
And when it's not so bad with that one, but when you take the little amounts of 25, it starts really eating into it.
And you're nearly going to cost the
Yeah,
same amount of
same
postage.
Yeah, same as that Hank Watson. He owes £500. So if you did them two first in the middle of November,
I mean, there are some memorials that are. There is one there that we need to chase again from June.
And so there's some that are quite lengthy
Yeah.
times, aren't there?
Yeah.
It's not unusual because what happens is, especially with the memorial companies, they will apply to us for permission to put up a memorial, but it takes a long time to make them, so it could be 4 or 5 months, and then they inter the ashes at the same time. So it always has been practice, I believe, to wait a long time before it's paid because they don't then get paid, but they haven't physically done anything
Yeah.
for us. You know, they haven't
They
actually
haven't actually
installed
done anything,
it.
they just
No,
applied for one.
They just applied for it. So,
Yeah.
and they are all bona fide companies who you would
Yeah.
who would never let you down. It's just
So it's probably going to be any time then
There
that you
is
get the
the one which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, a local parish council that owes us rent again, that we
Yeah.
seem to struggle getting the money for every time for safe space.
Well, if we
They
don't
have
get it,
been communicated with us and said, but we only paid it recently, and I said, well, that was for the previous year.
Yeah.
So it's June.
Yeah.
Let's say it was 1st of September, so it's definitely June.
just chase again. And then if they don't pay, then they'll be asked to remove their stuff.
Yeah. And then wait a couple of weeks for allotment ones and then start with probably the biggest one first and sort your way down.
That's it with the outstanding.
yeah, just the
stuff.
budget review, isn't it? Jan's done some more work on today, haven't you? It shows we're 12 grand underspent at the moment.
But then that would mean having a complete freeze.
A complete freeze, yeah.
Of everything.
But that means if we spend sensibly from now on, we should be okay.
Yeah.
We just can't be too lavish.
No.
I just think the chairs of the other committees need to know that they can't spend anything without
Yeah.
gaining approval,
We've got
because
the,
otherwise we'll lose track of
Yeah.
what they spend. Doesn't go against any of the rules, does it, I think?
No. It just has to go through that other, just so we can keep track of it before it's spent.
Do we need to bring it up next week then?
I'll probably bring it up in your report,
Yeah, okay.
just so everybody's aware at the time, and then that's just basically so we can keep a close eye on the budget, because we've got the money, but it is tight. So,
We don't spend it, it's money to go back into.
exactly, the
Reserves,
more
isn't
we've got, the better.
If we have got the pro forma invoice for the uniform, but we've got the budget there, and
Yeah.
I've taken it out as having been spent in what I've done
Yeah.
here.
The only question I had is why have
Yeah.
we got money left over for pay for Carter's Park?
Pay.
Yeah, net pay.
Oh,
Given we've got a third
if you
member.
look at it, when I did it originally, if you look at it, it balances itself out with pension costs and NI, because when I did put the net pay in, I put it in as the full pay. And then
Okay.
when the national insurance has gone out, so some's gone overspent and some's gone underspent.
So
but that's
does
why-
that allow for the third
It
member of
was.
staff?
The third member of staff, I think, worked out at costing us, this is off the top of my head, I did work it out, about 3,500, 4,000, so we were okay.
So that's just sort of spread across the, yeah, that's fine. I was just a bit confused.
Overspent, obviously. Oh, the sundries, that's when I double checked into that. The sundries service and maintenance of Carter's Park
Yeah.
includes the money spent on the tennis court to do, finish the
To
service
finish
off.
off, yeah.
That we weren't aware of, so that also was there. Obviously repairs and maintenance of play equipment. That is high, as is vehicles and machinery. You'll have to be careful of any horticultural supplies.
Yeah.
because
Is that inclusive of what we would normally spend in a year, or is that a bit under?
That last year we spent, I believe, about 1,700 in December, January time. So I've allowed 400 there and 800 there. So we've actually only allowed 1,200.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to be a bit,
Yeah.
because money's been spent on other things, hasn't it?
Throughout the year, yeah.
Well, you've lost that on there. Boots, haven't you?
No?
You've lost that 1,200. Spending it and getting the caboose repaired.
Yeah. Which one's that been put under? Is that been put?
That's where you see.
Is that repair service into machinery vehicles?
Carter's Park, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much doubled our budget for that.
Yeah, we've gone over 1,000 on that one.
Yeah, but then we have still got a tiny bit available in the cemeteries.
Where's
Just in
cemetery?
case. Yeah,
Vehicle
we
plant and servicing.
£359.
Yeah, but that's because we're not spending any more money on it. So
Yeah.
if it's out of that second column,
Yeah,
there's nothing in
it's
there.
the saving that we're predicting,
Yeah,
but
so we're not going to spend any money on
unlikely,
that.
but
But we've got
best case scenario.
a steel brush cutter and the is it the chainsaw? A
Hedge cutter to be serviced,
repaired.
yeah, and repaired, yeah. That's fine.
So that's got to happen.
And when does the annual servicing of everything normally happen? Would that be in this financial year?
The Kubotas are normally about March time,
Okay.
but the bill doesn't normally come in. Well, I think it was April last year.
Okay, so we can push that into next year.
I mean, considering how much work's been done on both of them this year,
Yeah.
they shouldn't really need much.
Well, they've not had a lot of use for the last 3
Well,
months.
if we can
have
get them serviced just before the start of the season, but then the bill comes in for next financial year, then
Yeah,
that'd be all right.
Waste services, we should have 1,200 over.
Yeah.
spending less than budgeting, because when we budgeted for that, we hadn't changed the bin
Company,
supply.
yeah.
Um,
And then obviously we've allowed for doing no additional tree work, have we?
Yeah, we have, there is a little bit in there.
Oh, there's a
tree
little
work
bit for churchyard and,
Out, I've taken it out of cemeteries,
Yeah.
because what we discussed with the guys, they can do that. And I've
Nature
left
reserve.
in 1,000 for the closed churchyard, because we're waiting to hear back, getting the document on whether
So it just depends whether we would want to do a tree survey this financial year, so we know how much we've actually got to spend next financial year. So that might be the only bit, but we've got a little bit of money to play with, depending on how much.
When and if the tractor goes, and
Yeah.
the other bits and bobs, I mean, that's going to help out, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
that's going to be, it's going to be in
That
excess
should
of
be able to
£3
fund,
grand.
yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Have you had anything from SJ Electrics?
Yes.
Has he given you an offer on anything then?
Yes, a few bits.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need the list from you that I have to take to when you get
I'll
followers.
send that over.
Happy with all that then?
I think so.
Where was I going? Yeah, we've overspent on insurance because we've given the contribution to, or paid for the insurance for Millennium Health.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we haven't had in the litter precept, and I keep trying chasing them up, but they don't answer the phone, strangely enough.
I'm going to suggest we go through all our district councils then to
Yes.
see if we can get some action.
That's what they're there for, aren't they?
Because that's a decent chunk of our budget, really, isn't it?
£3,020 were owed,
Yeah.
and that was sent off beginning of September. We also haven't had the rebate from South Holland for 4A High Street, where we overpaid, I think it's 30 or £40 they owe us for council tax, so.
Anything next?
So, moving on then. Number 90, to agree the asset policy of entry and disposal of assets. They're all in the folder. Nothing spectacular in there, just common sense stuff.
Yep.
If you're all happy with that.
I shall propose.
Thank you. You agree? Yeah.
Okay, moving on then to number 91 is the budgets for next financial year. I wanted to do this in closed session, but found out that I'm not allowed to. That pain of slap on the back of the leg about me. I was worried, just in case any of this gets out to the general public. So I was just going to ask people to remember that it's, at the moment it's draft and it's
Yeah, it's
confidential.
draft, yeah.
Yeah.
The figures for the base, they were slightly, when Rick and I went through the paperwork, or Rick went through the paperwork today, it's actually
3422.
Is it?
Yeah.
We couldn't work out where your
Is that true?
18,000 came from.
So I'll read you the figures, but what I did was the first, without going too much on, the first sheet you've got is before, this is how it sits after all the committees met, okay?
Okay, so this is before any adjustments?
Yeah, now obviously we've done, and I know Stephen brought this up the other day, about you can't agree it in December because
Yeah.
SHDC meets in December to set the base. So that's why we can't agree to a
Because you
January.
don't actually know what your tax base is going to be to
No.
work out.
Yeah,
Okay,
stuff,
so-
isn't it?
So that is why,
So
Why you
hopefully
can't-
when they meet, it will actually be better off because you will increase your tax base.
yes,
Fingers crossed.
yeah, we should do because of the amount of new bills that have
Yeah.
gone up, so,
That's
yeah.
good.
So yes, so then, after adjusting those figures to what we feel, the second one of that would be
Yeah,
a very
Much
much
better. Yeah, I mean, it's only, you're decreasing it by a decent amount, but the decrease to abandoned property is quite significant, isn't it, really?
So then what you've got is you've got each committee there. So the one with the highlighted thing is what the committee has proposed for council, and the one behind it is the adjustments.
Yeah.
And that's for 2 committees, the rest. So PR and IT, that's not changed, admin's not changed. Yeah, and that takes into account,
I think we made some like very minor adjustments, didn't we,
they're all in there.
but they're all, yeah, that's fine.
That
I thought we'd
allows,
taken that 15 grand then.
yeah, but that's before.
Before
that's
just-
what-
Okay,
So if you go
sorry.
to the next one that's stapled together, that's
Yeah,
how
that's
we
it.
did it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That takes into account the increase in the minimum wage as well.
Yes.
And we've still got a little bit of wiggle room on that.
Does Eddie know about this drop into the 15 grand?
He wasn't at the last planning meeting, so.
No, he's got COVID again.
Yeah.
Was one of the Peter would have told him. So.
They did agree that that would be something they would drop at the last planning
Okay.
meeting, so it was agreed by the committee.
So I think Peter might be upset about his speeding stuff. But
It was left
it is
in,
what it is.
wasn't-
Oh, we know we reduced it, didn't we?
Yeah, so
We
this,
reduced
so
it.
this is what they agreed to put forward.
Yeah.
So they agreed to put forward 57,900, but were prepared to lose, they knew they would have to lose some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got it down to
29,000.
29,000. But their proposal goes to full council, so when it goes to full council, they've put forward their figure to be to full
Yeah.
council, so then when it goes to full council, all this is then proposed by the finance committee.
So are we proposing the amended version or the original version?
So the finance committee
Committee.
will propose the amended version, and they will propose their version, and then it's just
have
up
to
to debate
decide.
to decide,
Okay.
debate.
50
So-
costs.
Yeah.
No
Who
debate.
gets the money?
Who gets the money?
Well, I'm afraid it is what it is, and
Yeah.
if we haven't got it, we can't do it, can we?
Well, we've got to be able to deliver the projects that we've already promised the public, and they're
Yeah.
going to give most benefit,
Yeah,
realistically.
and there's no benefit from speeding signs. In fact, the one he had on Spalding Road the other day wasn't even working.
Well, we can continue what we're already doing, and we have
Yeah.
got, budget available for the second SID.
Yeah, yeah.
So that will increase what we're doing, but we just have to take it a little bit slower than doing it all at once. That'll have to be pushed into the next financial year.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's continuing to
Yeah.
benefit, then
Good.
Right. 92. Oh, sorry, I'm not finished that one. Does anybody else want any more?
No.
I think once we know from district what the Band D, what the tax base is, then hopefully that will decrease your increase a little bit. It's a decent increase realistically, isn't it? It's still, but then
Yeah.
you are delivering a lot more stuff with that.
Looking at the second figure of £7.41 on the band D, that's only 14p a week.
Yeah, it's not
2p
much, because that's
a
over a
day.
year, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're delivering quite a lot of
Yeah.
projects and things within that,
So
so
I can't see any complaints
no,
from that.
just more than normal.
Well, I'm sure there'll be some, won't there?
Yeah.
Okay, budgets then. So 92, I propose that we defer that until next month's meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Proposal, please. Thank you. Seconder. Thank you. Agree? Yes.
So 93, to agree to recommend the full council to fund £500 for the additional seat. I think we promised Peter some time ago, didn't we, that he could have it, so.
It's in those figures.
It's included within that, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, yeah, we've got the funds, just need to be careful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Proposed, please. Second. Agreed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Items for discussion and agenda item requests. I haven't got anything at the moment. It's go time.
No, it's just the usual, including budgeting.
Yeah, it's got to be budgeted every month, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and find out, speak to Scribe and find out a better report, because the report isn't
It's not, it's,
even for somebody that's done accounts. I mean, you say the same,
Yeah.
it's not.
Too much missing, isn't there?
Yes.
yeah, you have to kind of go through it manually to think, well, hang on a minute, that's not quite right.
Yeah. That's the trouble, it's built for accountants, isn't it?
Mm.
It's not accountants that are using it, in effect.
No.
Mm.
So it should be in layman's terms, shouldn't it? A bit more
Yeah.
simplified.
Mm.
Especially if you're going to print it off for
Yeah.
finance committee, but
Yeah.
yeah, layman's terms.
Yeah. And I still like the idea of being able to go and design our own reports, but that's not an option in Scribe, is it?
No, it's the forecasting. I don't know whether
It's always a bit odd, isn't it?
it is a bit odd, and I spent a lot of time earlier this year breaking down all the budgets for this year and putting them in where I thought was going to be spent those months. The grass cutting was a simple one, but even then, forecasting still.
Doesn't quite work, does it?
I look at it and
No.
I think, well, where's that come from? It's just.
I used to do it for £60 million project on a monthly basis, and the only thing you can do is go in manually every month and change it.
Really?
Honestly,
Yeah.
we did it just on an Excel spreadsheet.
I mean, that report that you did about how much we spent over the months, kind of looking back, was quite interesting. That was a good one.
Yeah, I mean there are some good reports in there.
It's just you
We
kind of
just
got to
need-
look at all three different reports
Yeah.
and combine them together
Together, yeah.
to make it, yeah.
You shouldn't need to have to export them into Excel and then start looking about them.
No, no.
Sort of defeats the object a little bit.
I mean, to be honest, this one that you've kind of done, the final one, is probably the best that we've had.
Yeah,
So which one is
Definitely.
that one?
This
That one where you've got the one you did
What's
last.
it called at the top?
Receipts and payments compared with flexed budget.
Oh, the flex budget report.
Yeah,
you changed the headers on those, didn't you? On one of
because you
them.
did total per year to be spent, actual payments, and then the
Yeah.
variance.
So I took that into Excel
Yeah.
and then.
You can't change the headers in Scribe.
No.
Okay.
You can apparently if you've got Apple Mac.
What were the headings beforehand? Was to be spent something different then?
It's so I just took all the figures out of there.
Oh, and then inputted it into.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't remember what it
That's the
was.
best one we've had, really.
Yeah, so it says total for year, and then it says year to date, and then actual payments. So I took out year to date,
Yeah.
and I made that what's left to spend, because some of the reports, there's a good one there, drainage on the allotments. Oh, yeah, I see what I mean, how it works. But some of them, it gave you an odd figure that didn't actually make much sense.
I mean, really, you could do, a good one would be total for the year, actual payments to be spent, forecast, and then whether you're over budget or under budget, the variance, if you're trying to be layman's terms. But that's
And I
just a
don't
bit
think
more
you
work.
actually need receipts in there. I just think you want it on payments.
Yeah, it's only if you're going to be under for some receipts or not, but hopefully you should be. it's more your payments that needs to be a bit more detailed, doesn't it?
Yeah, when this, not on the finance side, but on the cemetery side, when we did the training on it, they showed it to us obviously on the screen, shared screen, and you could edit the reports, you could highlight stuff, you could do so much. But our version wouldn't work, and that's when I found out that you can only have all that if you're running it on Apple. An iOS device, so unfortunately you don't, so we've got this, but you can edit it in Excel.
Yeah.
To buy you an iPad.
I think the budget's off on that one.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So next date then is the 6th of December.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks before Crimbo. Meeting finished.
Mm-hmm.